This little boy is peeking at a beautiful girl. She was a babysitter specially hired by her father, and she saw the boy being bullied by the gangster. Annie punches the punk in the tire.
Get out of here! Before I run you over, you little pap smear.
And chased the punk away. Annie also taught Cole how to retaliate, but Cole couldn't do it, because he's a coward who's too scared to get a shot. Luckily, Annie never minded. She's even willing to play the childish goodbye gesture with him. How could Cole not be impressed? Seeing Annie and her boyfriend leaning together, Cole felt jealous. A neighbor, Mary, reminded Cole there were many babysitters who would bring their boyfriends to the house after the owner had fallen asleep, bringing boyfriends to the house to do strange things. This piqued Cole's curiosity. Does his nanny sneak boyfriends in too? What would they do? The opportunity soon arose when his parents went away for the weekend and left Cole and Annie alone. Cole dutifully listened to his mother's instructions. He closed the door and started playing with Annie. He even took her to play in the pool. They watched a movie in the courtyard in the evening and watched it until they were exhausted. They laid down on the sofa together. Cole pretended to be sleepy and went to his room to sleep. He wanted to see what Annie would do in the middle of the night. He waited until 12 a.m. Cole crept carefully out of the room. He got stuck in a blind spot and peeked downstairs to see what was going on. It looked like they were playing truth or dare. Annie had chosen a dare. The task was to kiss everyone in the room. This was crazy. Cole looked shy. Annie kissed everyone around her before finally kissing her boyfriend. After the kiss, he was so moved he was on the verge of tears. But then Annie pulled out 2 large knives and plunged them straight into his head. Upstairs, Cole's eyes widened. Why has a romance suddenly become a horror movie? But there's more to come. It turns out that Annie's true identity is that of a saint. She has a magic book. She can grant her wishes by dripping the blood of the sacrificer and the pure one. The pure ones must be talking about me, thought Cole. He immediately ran to his room and called the police. Then he pulled out a small knife and hid it on his person. It was definitely too late to escape, for the group had already arrived at the door. Cole had to lie down on his bed and pretend to sleep. He had a tube of blood taken from him, forcing his fear of the injection. Luckily, the men didn't kill him. They finished the blood and left. Terrified, Cole prepared to jump out of the window. He had just tied the sheet into a rope and thrown it out of the window when he was about to escape. Annie was back, but he didn't have to do anything. Cole collapsed from low blood sugar. Boy is tied to a chair by his beautiful nanny for watching the adults play a perverted game in the middle of the night. But the game was terrifying. It scared Cole right out of his skin. He wakes up and asks,
"Why is he shirtless?"
Crowd was baffled by Cole's question. This kid is not stupid, is he? As the crowd let their guard down, Cole takes out his hidden knife and starts to cut the rope.
Does he not even see the mirror behind him? We can see you cutting the rope.
It's an awkward scene. Cole is moving faster with the rope, but the guys don't take Cole seriously. They even laughed at Cole for not being able to handle himself. That's when the sirens went off. 2 policemen burst through the door. The men immediately threw their batons. The wounded cop accidentally discharged his gun. The gun hits the blonde's silicone breast. The other cop tries to control the situation. Annie slashes her throat while the crowd was watching the injured woman. Cole saw his chance to run up the stairs. The man followed him but stepped on a toy car. He lost his balance and fell down the stairs. The men were now furious. Annie ordered that Cole had to be caught. Cole ran back to his room and blocked the door. He threw out the bedsheet and climbed down. But the next moment, a grim-faced man appeared at the window. He yanked Cole up. Cole accidentally falls to the floor, but he's okay. Cole ran to the storage room. He tried to find some tools: insecticide, blankets, a small drill, a lighter. When he saw the firework tube, Cole had a brilliant idea. He used the drill to unscrew the basement bars. He fought off his fear of spiders and rats and crawled to the end of the basement and covered himself with a blanket. He disguised himself as rubbish. He thought he could hide until dawn. But Lily, with her eyeliner on, found him here. She even crawled in and teased the spiders. Cole felt sick. As soon as Lily left, he flicked the spider out. The little spider had triggered a mousetrap. Lily heard the noise and came crawling back with her knife. Cole panics and fires a firework tube. Unfortunately, it missed, but it did scare Lily into grabbing a mousetrap with one hand. Cole took the opportunity to dash out of the basement. He quickly sealed the bars and sprayed them with insecticide. The insecticide reacted with the fireworks. A huge explosion kills and injures Lily. Before Cole has time to rejoice, Mark came up to him. He admired Cole's intelligence. Cole suddenly crouched down. Mark, who had no time to react, Mark grabbed Cole in a chokehold. Suddenly there was a commotion from outside the house. It turned out to be one of Cole's regular bullies who had come in the middle of the night to throw eggs. This is so much bullying that even Mark can't stand it. He ordered Cole to fight back.
Are you kidding me?
Get out there and crush that bitch.
Cole took the opportunity to ask him for help, hoping he'd help him call the police, but he didn't believe him. He slapped the egg on Cole's head and Cole fell to the ground. That's when Mark came in. Never throw eggs at someone's house in the middle of the night. Even the psychopathic killer couldn't stand that. He doesn't even kill the man, but sends Cole to take care of the punk first, even though Cole couldn't beat him. But Mark was satisfied.
Not bad, kid. At least you stood up for yourself.
But this is a horror film, not an educational one. Mark has his heart set on killing Cole again. Cole took off running. He climbs up the tree to the cabin and breaks the ladder. But that Mark is strong. He pulls the rope up. He wiped the egg sap off Cole's face before he did anything, but he'd overestimated the weight capacity of the cabin. Suddenly, the plank under Mark's foot breaks off. He gives the rope a subconscious tug, but the egg wash on his hands made him slip. Instead, the rope broke his neck. But the chase doesn't stop there. A shot rings out. It was Annie threatening Cole. Cole had nowhere to run. He had to run to his neighbor Mary's house. Meredith's parents weren't home either. The two of them had to play hide and seek with Annie. When Annie left, they darted into the bathroom. Cole regretted bringing Mary into this. He told Mary to call the police. He was ready to face Annie alone. Seeing how brave Cole was, Mary stood on her tiptoes and gave Cole a kiss on the cheek. The kiss gave Cole an instant boost of motivation. He rushed out the door ready to fight Annie. But until he ran home, Annie never showed up, and the house was clean, without a trace of blood. But he'd forgotten there was a body left untouched. Cole walked into the dining room table, where he was studying Annie's spellbook. Suddenly, Cole was not to be outdone. He attacks the woman's wound. The woman covered her wound and called Cole a pervert. She grabbed a kitchen knife and charged at Cole. In a panic, Cole pulls out his ignition.
Oh, you think I'm scared of a little fire, huh?
Cole closed his eyes and waited to die, but he got splattered with blood. It was Annie who saved Cole's life. In everyday life, she thought of Cole as a friend. She didn't want to hurt him, but after a night of fighting, Cole was still wary. He grabbed the book of magic and prepared to burn it, and rushed to say, "It's a book of magic that can grant all wishes." She urged Cole to try it too. Cole didn't believe that. He lit the book on fire, and while Annie was putting it out, he ran out the door. As he ran, Cole realized that he had been running away from his life. He wouldn't fight back when he was hit by a basketball. He didn't dare to say it back when he was called a weakling. He couldn't drive a car. He was afraid to get a shot. Even his mother reassured him. He knows how to be brave when he needs to be. But when was that time? Cole jumped in the car. He felt it was time for him to grow up. It was time to use his strength to protect the ones he loved. He mumbled the words to drive. He stepped on the gas and took off. In the rubble, Cole slowly climbed to the front of the car. Annie's slim little body is crushed under the car. She held out her finger and tried to say one more childish goodbye, but Cole didn't respond. He turned coldly and climbed out alone. He was taken into the arms of his parents who had rushed home. The care was like any other. But this time, Cole broke away from his parents' embrace. He walked out bravely and then turned around and said coolly,
"I don't need a babysitter anymore."